I love doing Takeaway Tuesdays a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started.
All righty.
Oh. Okay, Patrice, we're going live.
Okay.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another Takeaway Tuesdays, where we discuss all things real estate globally. I am so excited to be here tonight. Not only do we have a fantastic day in terms of weather, it's just good to be alive today, isn't it? It was just really a great day after all the storms we had for the past couple of weeks. I want to give a shout out to everyone down in Louisiana. I know that they're having a really tough time. So our prayers go out to you guys. Wishing well, and hope everyone is safe. I am Carlita Cole, real estate concierge with Keller Williams Capital Properties, and I just want to welcome you to another Takeaway Tuesdays. Once again, where we discuss all things real estate, and we do that globally. My goal was to really build a referral of agents and industry experts, and just kind of like link them all together, right? And why? Because I want to build intergenerational wealth, one home and one family at a time. And to do that, you really need a string of people to help you along with that goal. And this is why we really single out really great agents all around the world to just really talk about some of the things they're doing in their marketplace. Real estate is kind of the same no matter where you go. The concept will be the same, but the properties are different, right? The structure is different. The opportunities are different. And so we bring all these individuals and experts together to help you make that decision where your next home purchase is going to be, or your next investment. I just really think it's an opportunity for us all to just level up and teach the next generation that's coming behind us about wealth building and building their own wealth and leaving their own legacy. I don't know about you, but in my family, we all started at ground zero every single generation. So I'm here to change that for my grandkids. And this is why I do what I do. And this is why I love Takeaway Tuesdays, because not only do we get an opportunity to hear each other's stories, but you learn something as well. And so I just want to thank you all for just joining us here for another Takeaway Tuesdays. And today we went to Texas. Yes, we went all over to Texas. We're going to talk about Miss Patrice DeVille in a moment. I do want to talk about my 45-day affirmations. I'm going to tell you something. So as realtors, I really believe that we have so much we need to accomplish. And the goals for realtors are like very lofty, right? You have to have like so much done in a certain period of time in a certain way, a certain formula to achieve the goals you want to achieve. In order to do that, it really starts with having a healthy emotional intelligence, right? Having mental clarity, have an understanding of what you're going to do, how you're going to do it to achieve the exact goal. It's a science behind it, right? And so I'm challenging myself to 45 days of affirmations. A lot of you do know that I spent the last 3.5 years taking care of my mom with dementia. And I really couldn't get out there and work the way I really wanted to. And so I feel like I'm starting all over again for the third time in real estate. So I'm starting from ground zero. So I have a lot of work to do. In order to achieve my goals, to get to where I have to go, I have to get my mindset right, develop my habits, do my affirmations, my gratitudes, and, to pivot and shift, the mindset now. After coming out of, 3.5 years of one situation, now going to full beast mode into real estate. And so it takes a lot. So join me on my 45-day affirmation challenge. I'm certain that you want to go to the next level in your life as well. What do you affirm? What do you believe? What are your goals? What can you actually conceive so you can strive towards achieving it? So join me on my 45-day challenge for affirmations. Okay, now for the good part. So we have Patrice DeVille. Hi, Patrice. How are you?
Hello, and hello to everyone out there in the audience as well. Glad to be here.
Okay, awesome. So I'm really happy to have Patrice with us. She is from Texas. Patrice is one of the most one of the most dynamic realtors I met in that region in a very long time. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. One of the most important investment decisions an individual can make is buying a home. Firm commitment, high integrity, and proven results are key attributes that should complement every real estate transaction. These demonstrated qualities can also lead to a positive client-agent relationship that continues long after the sale. That is why Patrice DeVille's longstanding experience in management, mediation, and customer service enables her to consistently exceed her clients' expectations. Patrice relocated to Texas from Los Angeles, two of my favorite places. Have been a planner resident since 1981, so she's a Texan, y'all. She has a vast knowledge of what's going on in North Texas and what they have to offer. Whether you're a buyer, a seller, or investor, Patrice is, she's there to help you. It'll be her pleasure to assist you with all of your real estate needs. And so you're going to hear a little bit more about Patrice, and you're going to want to be able to call her. So make sure you get your pencil and your paper ready, or your iPhone, your tablet, your cell phone, so you can jot down information, because she has a lot to tell you that's happening in Texas. Hi, Patrice.
Hello. I really wanted to say, first of all, thank you for inviting me to Takeaway Tuesdays. And I had no clue what I was going to get on here to talk about, but I do feel honored to be here with you and to get to introduce the Texas market and maybe dispel some myths about Texas real estate and things around here that people have ideas about that really aren't the way they think they are. But yeah, so I'm excited to be here.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Patrice. So Patrice, let's jump right on in. I just want to get down to nitty gritty, right?
Okay.
So why did you choose to become a realtor? It's not an easy job. You have to be kind of out of your mind to be a realtor.
Yeah, and I actually, when I was a little girl, I always wondered why do these people have the opportunity to live in one kind of house and others live in a other kind of house? And I just carried that curiosity on through life with me. And when I got to a point in my career that I could invest, I got my real estate license just so I could have access to the MLS. I didn't want a realtor in the way and having to wait on the realtor's schedule to coincide with mine. And I'm a control freak. I'm a true Taurus. And I just wanted to do my own thing. So I got my license, started buying property, and then I decided I really don't like my job anymore. So I retired and started taking on clients. And I was living my best life. I love it. I still love it to this day and go in whole hog with real estate.
Awesome. Awesome. So you wanted access to the MLS. So now, were you an investor at that point? Or were
At that time, yes, I wanted investment property. I was married at the time. And our goal was to leverage and be able to segue out of our jobs and be landlords and have investment income.
Awesome. Awesome. So that is the right way to do it. Gives you the inside information because you wanted to know numbers. You want to know where the stuff was at. You want to get in there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like you're a spreadsheet kind of person.
Not really. No, the numbers, I'm probably a little bit bad about that so far as, coming from the investment side. But I kind of just watch the market and see what's going on.
Okay, awesome. So what was your first year in real estate like? So you went from being curious, you had a goal to be an investor. So what was your first year like? Was it what you expected to be?
No, everything that you learn in real estate school, you can probably take those books and put them in your garage or something, because that's not the real life of the ins and outs of real estate. Every transaction is different. And there's some people that are more emotional than others, and you have to kind of, manage that. But the first year, I think I sold maybe about 8 homes, and I was just in there to learn how to market and get my foundation laid and just take it slow as I learned and try to get people to trust me so that I could get, have deals coming in. And then it grew from there.
So you sold 8 homes in your first year?
I think it was 8. I'd have to
How did you
check.
do that? Now, how did you do that? Were it family? Was it friends? Did you do it by farming? Did someone bring those to you? How did you do 8 in 1 year?
It was, I take a holistic approach to real estate. So it's more relationship based. I
Uh-huh.
started marketing using the Brian Buffini system. And that appealed to me because one of the core foundational items with that is handwritten note cards. So that kind of fell in line with how I like to do business. And I still write note cards, people still get them from me. And I still preach that to newer agents as well, because it's something that most people don't
Something
do.
that people don't do. Yeah.
They don't. And I find every so often somebody will send me a picture of a note card they got,
Oh,
8 years
nice.
ago, and they just don't throw it away. And I'm like, okay, I don't remember sending it, but you kept it, so great. But it helps to validate the relationship or that interaction with that other person, because you're validating you meeting them or the encounter, and it makes them feel important. And
Awesome. Awesome. That's really nice. I do periodically, I do the note cards, and I know that the next time I touch that person, it's going to be a phone call.
uh-huh.
The first thing they say is like, "Oh my goodness, thank you for that note. It was handwritten." So
Yes.
you'd be so amazed with all the automation we have and all the technology. Everything is email,
Right.
voicemail, and pre-printed or pre-formed letters, but
Mhm.
getting a handwritten note card, just to say hi.
Yeah, just something, and all of the other things can be supported items with your touches for your marketing. But just that first encounter, I like for that to at least be a handwritten note card.
That is awesome. Okay. So let's talk about the real estate in Texas. How's the real estate market there? What is it like for buyers? What is it like for sellers in your opinion?
The as we know, COVID affected so much of our market, and certain areas could do certain things. Some other areas couldn't. I think California just opened up where they're back to doing open houses. Well, we really didn't have that much of a problem. We could still show properties, and so we didn't have the constraints. A lot of the areas like the both coasts, New York had issues as well. So those agents were more highly impacted than we were. But the challenge was, once everyone kind of settled down and the market went crazy, we just didn't have and still don't have enough inventory. The challenge for the sellers is, I don't know if it was a challenge or not, but just having, a group of people forming a trail through their home in a pandemic, but they were getting top dollar for their homes and over list price, multiple
Oh
offers,
yeah.
just a lot of craziness. I'm more of a buyer-based agent, and it was just a challenge for my buyers, because if they didn't have a bag of cash to, slap that seller in the face with, then we just had to keep showing and showing, and then the buyer fatigue set in. So it's been a
Oh, wow.
challenge for them. Starting to settle out a little bit. We're seeing homes on the market a little bit longer, or price reductions. So that's starting to kind of give the buyers a little bit of incentive to go start looking again. But
Oh, wow.
the past 2 years have never been better so far as GCI and things like that for sales. But it came with the COVID and people relocating and finding they can work remotely, and they went and moved wherever they wanted to live. And
Right, right,
I
right.
don't came here.
That was a great incentive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now the market is kind of stabilizing somewhat. And we have the last little push right now before the holiday set in for the end of the year. We
Mhm.
foresee the market to go for, particularly for the sellers right now.
In the forecast, so for the North Texas market has been for us to know that nothing's going to change much in the
Mhm.
next maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
We still have the influx of people moving to the North Texas area. The builders can't keep up, And so it's going to take a while for all of this to untangle. And so we'll, it may kind of level out like it is right now, but we'll still have that steady flow of activity.
Oh, yeah, that's a great segue. I was going to ask you about new construction. I know we cannot keep them. I mean, there's waiting lists everywhere.
Yes.
Construction properties. Are you experiencing the same thing in Texas?
Absolutely. Yes. And matter of fact, I forgot to call today, but I've got one buyer that's on a waiting list, and it was supposed to be maybe 2 months for them to call them up. And I think the time is getting pretty close. But with the builders, you have to stay in contact and constantly call when you have a client on the wait list, because so many people drop off that might push them higher up faster than you thought. And you don't want them to lose their opportunity. So you
want to call and nobody answering all that stuff. You just got
to ready.
Communication.
Yeah, because if a lot comes up, or the builder can write 3 contracts that month, and you're one of the 3, you don't want to lose your turn in line.
Right. Wow. And so what's the price range just about for, let's just say, a new build, I don't know, between 35 and 4,000 square feet?
It's gone a lot higher these past 2 years. I think now for that size home, you might be in about the 500s in our market. Median price for maybe 2,200 square feet, or kind of before that,
that's good. Okay,
might get you into about the very, very low 400,000.
Okay. And then the architectural style in Texas, are you guys mostly doing like more of the shingled Spanish type roof, and you're doing lateral building, or are you doing more multi-tiered and multi-level building upward, like townhomes?
We have a shortage of land in this area of Texas. So if your home is going to be larger than maybe 2,300 square feet, then you're going to end up with a 2-story home. And traditional style, we do build with brick, and or part brick, maybe hardy plank, that cement product that looks like
yeah.
So it'll be a mixture of that. We don't do a lot of stucco. They're doing a little bit of it. They've perfected the stucco process here in Texas. But so there are some stucco homes, but traditionally, here we're brick.
Oh, interesting. Because I know here, they're building upward. So they're building nice townhomes, but they're like 3 and 4 level townhomes.
Yeah.
These are gorgeous, but I don't know about you. By the time I get to the 3rd level, I'm like,
so yeah, we see that more in closer to the downtown urban area.
Okay.
And out here, it's, people want their backyards and their 2-car garages and all of that. So they're going to be in either a single story or 2-story home. We don't have basements in this area of Texas because of the composition of our soil. And, so if you don't keep your soil composition consistent, then your foundation may crack. So
so is that the homeowner's responsibility to keep up with that?
Oh yeah, you have to water. We have to water, get on a really good watering schedule. And most builders will include a sprinkler system with your new home.
And so how do you keep up with that environmentally though? Is there someone to come out and help you check, or do inspections periodically, or?
No, you just kind of have to watch and see if the soil is pulling away from the structure, then you need to water to get some moisture into that soil.
Okay, and do you have to ever resoil? Really you have to resoil sometime?
Sometimes you do, yes.
Oh, interesting. Wow. See, this is why you talk to people from all around the world about real estate. Who knew?
Absolutely. And I talk a lot about the soil, expensive soil here with new clients that move from other areas, and their eyes glaze over, and they had no clue. And, it's either you water or you're going to fix the foundation, which gets very expensive.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So
that is very interesting. Wow. 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 Yeah. So what is the market like for investors? Let's just say I have someone that's looking to come there and to purchase an investment properties. They're not going to live there in the area. They're looking for an opportunity to build well. So what would you say to them? Do you go for high trafficked areas somewhere in the city and, do like an apartment, or do you do home rentals like in the suburbs? Which one is more advantageous for that investor?
What we see here is the higher rent that you could get. You want to be where the schools have high ratings. Those are the more desirable
You
areas.
said by the schools?
Yeah, by highly desirable school districts.
Oh, okay. The school
And
district.
so that's going to be the appeal to keeping that property rented. And you can draw higher rents as well in those areas. The problem that we're having now is there are syndicates coming with cash. And so there's so much of a competition between investors, the homes go quickly. And there are big syndicates that are coming in the area and buying up hundreds of homes. And so a individual investor is going to have some challenges as well, just like a buyer. And, the last thing an investor wants to do is overpay, but sometimes if the numbers work and they know they can make their money over time versus on the front end, then, that may be able to work for them as well. But we have investors coming, outside of the country.
Wow. So that means that it's a great place to invest then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What about the Waco area? It's now famous because of Chip and Joanna.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested in like some of the properties they were finding. I'm like 49,000, 25,000. I want to buy that home. I can imagine now because of that, there's just been like and grow. But is the market still a great place to invest to get those sweet deals like that?
In Waco?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I would say yes. It's Chip and Joanna basically created maybe a scaled down version of a tourist attraction for Waco. Waco is a college town. Baylor University is there. So it's more of slower, lazy kind of lifestyle there, and very pretty, very intimate and slow. But when they built their Magnolia, whatever it was, their gift shop and restaurant and all of that, then people flock on the weekends down to Waco. And wow. Yeah, and it's kind of unbelievable, but she's done so much with furniture and accessories and all that extra stuff. But people just love to go. And I think the area where they built their complex has pulled up the property values for the other companies and stores in that area. And it's been a challenge for them because it's made their taxes higher.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about that next.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the property taxes, but surely, once you improve a home, then your taxes are going to get, reassessed and go up. So that's the fallout from that. But, there's some people that want land and space that go to Waco and outlying areas as well.
Yeah. So what about like one of those really like opportunity farmhouses sitting on all that land and it's just like, two wooden walls barely connected? Mm-hmm. I would love one of those. I would love one of those. I really would. So keep your eye out. I would love one of those.
Okay, well, don't rule out a barn dominium. They have these things.
So you saw the episode.
Yeah, and those can be kind of inexpensive as well. You just got a big
because the land,
one room, like a big kind of like a loft, but you just segment off your living spaces and put the shell up and then work on the inside as you go.
Working as you go. And I would start off by buying one of those large sheds, those little sheds like the 12 by 14 sheds. So it's like a temporary house to sit in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I see that in my future. I want to be on a lot of land. I want to do, the country style living, but in the city as close as possible.
Yeah, you want to be close to your grocery stores and amenities and some shopping, but you have to be careful when you say, I want a bunch of land, how far out in the country are you going to be? And because it gets kind of lonely out there sometimes.
Yeah, it does. I want to be in a place where I can have all the land and still be able to walk to like Target.
That doesn't sound realistic.
My worlds together, or drive like 5 minutes. Like I don't want to be deep down in the country where I have to walk 18 miles to get to the nearest store. I don't want that. I want the one stoplight.
Well, in Waco, you go drive to town, and then, you'll have Target there and all that. You just won't have a mall, but,
Mhm.
you'll have shops and things like that.
Yeah,
And
for a nice little like vacation home to rent out or something like that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And people do, the city folks like to go to someplace like Waco just to get away for the week,
Yeah,
rent an Airbnb and just hear crickets at night. And then, when they've had a couple of days worth of that, then they're ready to get back to the city and all the
yeah.
clamming and activity, with
So
all.
speaking about Airbnb, another great segue. How's that marketing? Do you dabble in it? Do you help, people find great Airbnbs? Do you recommend it? What is your take on that, and how well is the market in Texas?
The market is great. I've had a few clients that had rented Airbnbs while their homes were being closing or being completed or
Oh,
whatever,
nice. Mhm.
but I haven't dabbled in it personally. It's kind of scary for me. I'm a big coward so far as, short-term rentals like that. But, it comes with its challenges, and you have to have a mindset of knowing, okay, sometimes somebody's going to come and, maybe have a party or do this or break something. So you have to be ready for that. But they draw enough of income. So you set aside a little maintenance kitty for all of that. But they're very lucrative. The only thing that you have to watch is we have a lot of homeowner associations up here in this part of Texas. And some of them have started to add in addendums to, circumvent short-term rentals because of
Ah,
people
because
run
of
them
the
and
risk
have
that comes
parties.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, create havoc in a neighborhood. And so those that don't have a HOA, I've seen some neighborhoods that have been going to city council meetings to try and have their subdivision excluded from having short-term rentals. So that's the challenge all over, I think, with Airbnbs
Mhm.
in residential areas.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So tell me something really exciting that's going on. How did you enjoy Mega Camp? I know it was phenomenal. The information that I receive and that I'm retaining is just absolutely incredible. It was life changing for me, not
Mhm.
because of all the great things that we're going to be doing great as an agency and as a company, um,
Yeah.
but because of the vision. The vision is so bold and the vision is so just lofty. It's almost like it's like being in a like living in a pinata.
Yeah. You got to strap on your
All these great
seatbelt.
things in there. It's all these great little things in there. So tell me about that experience because you went to Las Vegas for it, right?
Yeah, what happened? I like to network a lot. And the Northwest region, which is comprised of Alaska, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and I think Utah, I'm not sure.
Washington State.
Washington State, yes.
Okay.
So that region partnered with the Southern California offices, and they did an offsite mega camp in Las Vegas.
Awesome.
So I was the only Texan, as far as I know, that went with all these other region agents in the room, and I just worked it like a politician. Met new people. Some I knew, so I got to see them in the flesh that I hadn't seen for a couple of years, and I just kind of introduced myself, and they couldn't figure out why are you here. But that's I have an ulterior motive, and so I just got out and just worked the room and had fun. And some of the groups had their own teams, and they did activities in the evening and things like that.
Nice.
So they, did some of the Vegas stuff, and or went to the casino. But I met some really, really neat agents to add to my network. And there's agents out there that are doing phenomenal things. And that's what excites me about the difference in real estate. And I tell agents, you never know where real estate can take you. You can have
Oh my
one
goodness. It's
conversation,
like,
yeah, and your trajectory can change from one conversation with one person, and you just never know. You got to keep your antenna up and look for your opportunities, and don't be afraid, because a lot of times it's just a conversation.
that's just a conversation. Wow, that is great. And so, what was your greatest takeaway from Mega Camp? Besides the opportunity to network with other agents and learn from them, what was your greatest takeaway from Mega Camp?
I don't really have one specific ones. There was a couple of things that Gary Keller had said, and my notes aren't right here, but I also like the segment that Julia Lachey, I'm a Julia Lachey Israel fan, and she knows that, but she was talking about the home ownership with the minority communities and how that's dealt to grow. And for me, that just means to not take my eye off the ball with helping to build and educate people into home ownership, because I tell them that's, you know, the greatest, one of the greatest ways to build wealth. Even wealthy
Absolutely.
people will buy real estate. And, you know, you could buy something and look up and let time do its thing, and it'll appreciate while you're just making the payment. And, you know, before you know it, you can pull money out of that one and go buy your next property.
Absolutely. The use of equity, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. I really did like Julia Lachey's segment. It's really great to really talk about where the market is going, where are we, and the disparities and the gaps, the economic gaps that we have with different, different areas, different communities. And sometimes that we need to measure our own, biases. And sometimes it's intentional, it's subconscious, conscious.
Mhm.
We just need to recognize that they're there. And then how do you work with that? Being a realtor, right? Because we're for all people. And so I really thought that was really one of the a great segment as well.
Right.
But I just, like I said before, I just had a lot, and it was just like you said, they're doing some phenomenal things, and just to, sometimes the simplest little thing that they're doing, that's just so amazing. And that's what you said earlier about how real estate is so different, in different areas, and how there's so much to learn, because
Right.
everyone does real estate different. And it's one of the greatest things just to listen and lean and learn,
Mhm.
from other people. So yeah, I can imagine that.
And I've been watching, my parents are from Oklahoma, the Tulsa area, and I've been speaking with a couple of agents there who are, well, marijuana is legalized there. And so they've been watching their market change with commercial properties being sold, and or the storefronts. So
Wow. Okay, tell me, what's the connection? Like how, why? That's interesting. That's good to know. Everything
yeah, so
is so interconnected.
right, and people are. I have one client. He's a food chemist, and he said after I move in my house, I want to explore getting some land so that I could maybe grow hemp. And so I had to kind of educate myself about that. And that's what kind of led me down the rabbit hole with Oklahoma, which is right next door. And trying to find out what areas can that be done, because you have to get into the Department of Agriculture to find out what is this land zoned for, and can you change it to be able to grow whatever you want to grow, and or do you want to take that on, or just do another segment of that market? So you either start with the farming or end up with the storefront, and there's all those things all the way in between those two, but
Wow.
it's
So
very,
you think
very
more dispensaries are coming up in your area then? Is that why?
in
Or
Oklahoma. We're not legal here in Texas,
oh,
so
okay, in Oklahoma.
yeah.
That's very
So
interesting. Wow. Wow.
yeah,
And so
so
they see their market change with the real estate market.
yeah, more so commercial because of the dispensaries and ordinances and things like that. So
Interesting. I've never ever thought about that.
yeah, we have it in Colorado was the first state, and then Washington State, California, Oklahoma, and Michigan. There's some other Oregon, and then others. I think Maryland,
So
maybe.
I wonder, do they also do growers think in the same terms as well, to be closer to where there's dispensaries? So you do think that
Mhm.
grow market in Texas for growers?
I don't. Texas is behind the curve in a lot of things.
Okay.
That's too progressive right now for them, I think.
Okay.
But we just drive. I'm about an hour from Oklahoma state line, so you know,
Interesting.
now we may be able to grow hemp here. I'm not sure.
Interesting. Wow.
Have the climate.
Something about another note in my toolbox.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. This is why we talk. This is why we have Takeaway Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So learn from each other. You never know. It's the simplest little things that have the greatest impact. Wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Very interesting. Yeah.
So, Patrice, what is the one thing you want people that's listening to us now that's going to come back and listen to us later? What do you want them to take away this Tuesday from our conversation and real estate in Texas?
Even though there's the challenges of purchasing right now, don't give up. Still keep your eye on the prize, and the market will level out and a door will open. And real estate is all with timing. So just don't take your eye off the ball. Keep your objective and stick to it.
That's right. I agree. Don't take your eye off the ball. Keep your objective and stick to it.
Yes.
Do not take your eye off the ball because the market changes, like she said. And so, Patrice, I want to thank you so very much for taking time out your busy day. Thank you for accommodating me today. I really do appreciate that. You have no idea. And I just want to thank you for once again taking your time to come and join us for Takeaway Tuesdays. And tell everyone how to find you, tell them what's next, and your handle for social media, Facebook. How can we connect?
I'm on Facebook under Patrice DeVille, Instagram as well. I'm on Twitter, but I think I'm Patrice the Realtor on there, or Patrice D Realtor. I'm not on Twitter a lot, but my cell number is 469-766-9618. I only have one number, that's it. And email is pdeville@kw.com.
Okay, so there you have it. So you have all the ways you can connect with Patrice. If you're looking to buy, rent, or sell, or invest in property in Texas, let me know. I will definitely connect you with Patrice, and we will make sure that we get you anything that your little heart desires. You tell us what you want, and together we will make it happen. Patrice,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you so very much.
Pleasure was mine.
Thank you. So we will see you next week for another Takeaway Tuesday. Once again, my name is Carlita Cole, real estate concierge with Keller Williams Capital Property, building intergenerational wealth, one home, one family at a time. Good night, everybody. Good night, Patrice. Thank you.
Carlita. Bye-bye.